Hello, friends. I'm Kush Khandelwal, and this is Ageless Athlete. A few years ago, I started asking questions that would not leave me alone. Why do some people keep pushing mentally, physically, spiritually long after others burn out or break down? What does it really mean to age well when you still crave movement, meaning, and mastery? This show is my search for answers. Each week, I talk to elite athletes, everyday adventurers, and pioneering researchers who are stretching the limits of what's possible across age, injury, illness, and self doubt. You will hear hard won lessons, untold stories, and science backed strategies for building a body and mindset that lasts. For those of us joining for the first time, welcome to the show. For the rest, thank you for joining us again. Time is our most valuable asset, and I deeply appreciate you giving me your time today.
Friends, welcome back to Ageless Athlete. This is your host, Kush Khandelwal. We bring you fresh episodes each week. Today is a different kind of episode. Instead of interviewing another elite athlete, I am bringing together the second part of what I call the 10 commandments for lifelong performance. These, what I call commandments or keystones for longevity and fulfillment in sport and life. Each of these truths has come directly from my conversation with some of the most inspiring athletes I have been lucky to speak with. They are principles that these athletes have lived out day after day, even when things got tough. And that has allowed them to accomplish remarkable results and continue defying limits of age and other barriers. Let's actually first talk about the commandments I shared in last episode in case you missed it, or you know what, those might just be good refreshers, not just for you guys, but even for myself, because I need to also keep reminding myself of these keystones. So go back and listen to those commandments in the episode I released a few episodes ago. I quickly cover what we spoke about right now. So the first commandment I spoke about is called find your why. Our first commandment, find your why, is the foundation of longevity in any pursuit, in sports or otherwise, really. When your why is deeply rooted, it serves as that anchor that keeps you steady when the seas of life get tough, right? Commandment number 2 is to embrace the learning process. This commandment is about embracing that journey, that long process that allows us to truly master our sport. No matter how experienced one gets, how good one gets, even if you're world class in what you do, the learning never stops. The mindset is key to sustaining success in your sport over time. Commandment number 3 is to prioritize the fundamentals. The longer one does something, the more one can get caught up in advanced things, in, let's say, more niche things, more niche aspects, and it's easy to forget what the foundation is to allow us to continue hardening that solid base we have, because we get caught up in fancy gear, the latest training trends, some influencers' techniques that we just gleaned from our social feeds. But the truth is that none of those matter if you don't have the basic style. Then one of the episodes that I recorded went deep into this. It was with Juliet Starrett. I suggest listening to that episode with Juliet, a former world champ and also the writer of this incredible book called Built to Move. And yeah, she and I go deep into these fundamentals and how important it is to get those as part of one's process on a regular basis. Okay, commandment number 4 is, well, move your body every day. Consistency is key, and it's not just about training hard every day. It's about integrating movement into your daily life from the time one wakes up to the time one goes to bed. There are so many opportunities to continue to move. Whether you take the stairs, whether you decide to stand up, whether you decide to sit on the floor, whether you decide to take care of household chores, whether you decide to run to the office instead of maybe driving, or maybe take the bus and then run, or do the simple act of doing stretching and sit-ups perhaps when you watch TV. I mean, there's so many ways one can move one's body. One just needs to build that habit. And you know what? If you do that, then it actually reduces the dedicated time you have to put aside to work out. Believe me. Okay. Commandment number 5 is to be your own advocate. Whether it is managing injuries or pursuing your goals, no one else will take care of your body and mind the way you can. That is so true. I learned this myself over the last couple of years. As I've spoken about earlier in the podcast, I had really bad shoulder injuries, and I was advised basically by a whole team of orthopedic surgeons, of radiologists from top hospitals that I needed to stop climbing. I needed to stop overhead sports. But you know what? This is what gives me joy. This is what gives me really mental health. And I can't stop. I have to keep seeking answers. And today I am not completely healed, but I am better than I ever was. And it was because I chose to look for answers, look for other specialists who could give me a pathway, whether it is my physiotherapy routine, whether it is other kinds of body work I do. But I have been able to find a way out. And I think the rest of us owe it to ourselves to at least explore what answers might lie ahead. We need to fight for ourselves and make what is important to our own identity the guiding light. Okay, so those were the 5 commandments we spoke about in our episode a month ago. Please go listen to it. Let's talk about today's episode, which is about commandment number 6 to 10. Let's jump right in. Okay, so commandment number 6 is balancing passion with patience. Our first commandment is all about balancing that intense desire and that drive to reach the top of that climb, or maybe cross the finish line in a super long race, or complete that big bike ride, whatever that might be. But we need to balance that with the patience that understands the importance of timing and preparation. This balance is something I see deeply in 2 athletes I will talk about. Hence, Florine and Meghan Canfield. Hans's name echoes through the climbing world, especially for anyone who's ever dreamed of scaling Yosemite's legendary 3,000-foot tall face of El Capitan. Hans set speed records on El Cap, but these achievements didn't come from a reckless dash to the top. No. Hans spent years training meticulously preparing, and often waiting for just the right moment to go for it. Breaking records took an unwavering dedication to the process, not just the thrill of the end result. At this point, Hans has climbed El Capitan over 100 times. Speed records in a few hours, but also a sense with climbers of varying abilities that took him multiple days. When you are staring at El Cap from the bottom, it can seem so daunting. But you have to start with remembering that everything takes a bit of patience. And if you just, I don't know, in climbing terms, make one move up to the next handhold, to the next foothold, and belabor, continue that, then one does ultimately reach to the top of even something like El Cap. Yeah, Hans said to me, it's not just about reaching the top quickly, it's about the patience to prepare and the passion to keep going. That's what makes him not just a record setter, but a legend. Next, there is Meghan Canfield, a powerhouse in the world of ultra running. An ultra run is any run that is over the length of a marathon, which is 26.2 miles. So that is what we are all familiar with. An ultra run, in Meghan's case, can be 100 miles or greater. She has been doing these epic runs for decades. And each race is a new test of endurance, both mental and physical. Imagine running over 100 miles. Imagine running 24 hours straight through morning light to the heat of the afternoon, to the evening, dusk, and through the night. It takes a long time and it takes an incredible amount of will. It is about, for Meghan, taking each mile as it comes, trusting in the patience and preparation that's brought her that far. Meghan's longevity in the sport at the age of 62, when she is still beating runners much younger than her. It is a testament to the magic that happens when you allow patience and passion to dance together. She shared, running 100 miles is as much about patience as it is about anything else. Each step, each mile builds on the last. And I think that speaks volumes for anyone pursuing big dreams. Moving on to our commandment number 2, find community and embrace collective power. This is a special one for me. It's close to my heart. We often think of sports as individual pursuits, but the power of a strong community is undeniable. Yes, even if some of the athletes we speak with here pursue what may seem as individual sports, surfers, rock climbers, runners, they are often not competing in a team. They are often competing with themselves. However, the power that they find in others around them is undeniable. Just ask Maggie and Chuck Odette and David Wines. Maggie and Chuck, in their 50s and 60s, respectively, have spent years climbing side by side, not just as partners in climbing, but as builders of a community that supports and lifts each other up. They celebrate each other's triumphs and help one another through challenges. Their climbing partnership with one another and their group of close friends in climbing areas around North America radiate positivity and shared joy, reminding us that the journey is so much richer when you have people by your side who believe in you. Maggie says, we climb together, we celebrate together, and we overcome challenges together. Community and our friends, they make the journey worthwhile, even when one is failing at the same climb over and over again, when the weather turns bad and you cannot get on your project, when one gets injured. It's the community that keeps our spirits up, keeps our hopes up. And she's right. Who we share the climb with matters more than the climb itself. On a different terrain, but with the same spirit. David Wines, iconic mountain biker who's won the one-of-a-kind Leadville 100-mile ultra mountain bike ride 6 times, even beating legends like Landis and Lance Armstrong. He is truly good at what he does. He has fostered a community in the mountain biking world, known for his strength and endurance. David also dedicates himself to nurturing the mountain biking community, and he's built an environment through many of the causes around trail building, trail access that he has founded and supports. That's how he encourages both experienced riders, but also newbies. And he brings together different access groups, these coalitions that encourage and support each other, allowing the sport to push forward. David told me, the greatest wins come when you are surrounded by people who push you, believe in you, and share the ride with you. And that sense of shared triumph is a big part of what fuels David. Commandment number 3. All right. Are you still with me so far? This is a good one. Seek true fulfillment through giving back. Now, true fulfillment comes not just from achieving one's own goals, but from helping others achieve theirs. 2 people who embody this in a big way are Gary Linden and Catherine Hayes. Let's start with Gary Linden. For Gary, big wave surfing has been more than just a personal challenge. It's been a way to lift up others. He created the Big Wave World Tour, providing a platform for surfers around the world to test their limits and celebrate each other's accomplishments. Gary's legacy is about more than just riding monster waves. It's about creating a supportive community that allows others to chase their dreams. Gary said, fulfillment comes from lifting others up and seeing them thrive. He once told me, again, that it's the biggest reward in surfing and in life. For Gary, that's what makes each wave worth riding. Okay, next is a personal hero of mine, adaptive skiing pioneer, Catherine Hayes, has spent decades working to make the outdoors accessible to everyone. Her journey began in 1976, teaching a blind skier at Lake Tahoe. She described that experience as both terrifying and eye-opening, sparking a commitment to adaptive sports that became her life's purpose. Catherine worked through resistance from ski resorts to make adaptive programs a reality, often by simply holding her ground and not going away. The work that she started has allowed millions of recreational adaptive athletes, people who are differently abled, to access the outdoors, because she and her work helped change laws and convinced government agencies, large corporations to open their doors to allow differently abled people to come and recreate in the outdoors. Her story is such a powerful reminder. True fulfillment comes from opening doors. Catherine's work, she says, taught her that the mountains are for all of us. A vision she's made real for, yes, countless amongst us. I think this is something that I look back to whenever I'm struggling with going rock climbing, and either I'm injured or, yeah, I'm struggling with motivation. If I can just help somebody else by maybe teaching them, by maybe showing them, yeah, just some simple data or some simple trick at the climbing gym or outside, and share something that I've learned with them and help them, I think that gives me so much back, because that immediately just turns my focus inwards to outwards, and it returns to me this gift where I get back this surge of joy, because, I look beyond myself and I help somebody else. And yeah, my sport made me happier in a more profound way. So Catherine believes that outdoor spaces, you can feel exclusive. Catherine's work is transformative, creating a place for everyone to thrive. Yeah. I encourage all of you listeners to think back about your own journey on sport, and maybe find a way where you can give back. And like I said, it can be doing something really simple, like what I was describing, with just helping another fellow athlete with something they are trying to do. It could be maybe coaching somebody else. It could be bringing donuts when you're out for a run next. It could be maybe helping your parents along and maybe teaching them how to surf. It could be many, many things, but opportunities are endless. Just think about one thing you can do, and trust me, the returns you get astonish you. I've been thinking a lot about energy, not just in training, but in recovery, in focus, in how we age. So when I came across NutriSense, it hit home. It's a program that pairs a 24/7 glucose biosensor with a dedicated dietitian to help you understand how your body responds to food, stress, sleep, and movement, and then act on the data. I chose it because I wanted something real, not another hack or one size fits all plan, just honest insight into what's actually going on inside me and how to build habits that last. NutriSense has helped over 150,000 people take that step. And if you want to try it, you can get 33% off your first month with code Ageless15 at nutrisense.io. Again, that's nutrisense.io, code Ageless15. You can also find this information on the show notes for this episode. Commandment number 4. We are moving along here. This one is, practice mental toughness daily. Yes. Our 4th commandment is all about the mental game. Something that is so important to us as we get older and as we get more experienced. We find that mental challenges, what I like to call, your peaks and your valleys. Peaks are amazing, and the valleys can be daunting. And we need to find ways to get tougher. And it's not about simply trying to wish them away. There are practices, technique that we can lean on to get stronger, both on the wall, off the wall. Let's learn from Hazel Finley and Marshall Ulrich. Both have been on the pod. Hazel Finley has built a career as one of the world's most groundbreaking young climbers, not just because of her physical skills, but because of her mental strength. Climbing, as she describes it, is 100% mental. And yeah, I have to agree. Hazel trains her mind as rigorously as her body. Her practices in mindfulness and fear management allow her to tackle routes that most people wouldn't even dream of attempting. Her mindset has become a powerful tool and pushing her to incredible heights, both literally and figuratively. As Hazel says, climbing is 90% mental. Train your mind daily and the body will follow. It's a reminder that our minds often take us places our bodies never could alone. Then there is Marshall Ulrich, a legend in ultra endurance sports. Marshall is 73 now, but his accomplishments live on, running across the US, conquering the Badwater Ultra Marathon multiple times. These demand a mental strength that borders on superhuman. He strengthens his mind every day through rituals that build resilience and keep him prepared for the physical and emotional challenges of endurance sports. He shared with me, your mind is your greatest asset. Strengthen it every day. And then there is no limit to what you can achieve. Marshall lives this truth, pushing boundaries that even most athletes, even the most accomplished ones, they would hesitate to approach. He is able to defy the impossible, and it is because of his mental toughness that he is built brick by brick, run by run, day by day, over years and decades. And we can also start practicing mental toughness every day. Our final commandment. Thanks for staying with me this far. I bring to you commandment number 5. Pursue balance between sport and life. The commandment of balance, finding harmony between our passion and our everyday lives, this becomes so important as we get older. We have been climbing or running or surfing or doing whatever activity for a long time. Life catches up with us and other needs also become important. Perhaps the fire that one felt when one first started their sport, that fire might have faded. And other challenges in life, such as, the usual family, kids, career, bills, responsibilities, those catch up. But we don't need to stop doing what we love. We just need to find that harmony. This is something that Jeremiah Bishop and Ben Moon have both managed to master. Jeremiah Bishop is a competitive mountain biker. He has won he's twice national champ, and he does all kinds of incredible mountain bike races all over the country. He knows, though, that sport isn't everything. He balances his rigorous training with family life, making space for both his athletic ambitions and the people he loves. Jeremiah's balance allows him to keep his passion alive without sacrificing his personal life, showing us that the key to longevity isn't just pushing hard. It's knowing when to take a step back and reconnect with what grounds you. As Jeremiah put it, balance is what keeps me going, pushing hard on the bike, but always coming back to other things that matter just as much. And Ben Moon, an icon in climbing and the founder of moon climbing, has spent his life balancing the demands of climbing with his roles as a business owner, friend, and father. Ben was on the podcast recently. Ben was the first person to climb the mythical climbing grade of 9A. I think about 30 or 40 years ago. He did what was considered impossible for his time. And he has continued climbing at a very high level through the decades while excelling in all these other roles. His legacy isn't just in the climbing record, but in the life he's built around his passion. Moon climbing has become a lasting gift to the climbing community, and balanced approach has enabled him to keep pursuing his passion while maintaining a meaningful life outside of it. Ben told me, life isn't just about one pursuit. Balance lets you excel in your sport while creating a life that feels complete. And for Ben, that's the true success. And I could not agree more. Well, one way I find balance outside of my sport is because I just decided to start this podcast. It allows me to be able to derive fulfillment from other parts of my life, just outside of climbing and surfing. And you likely have things that you can do today, are already doing today, that can also allow you to find balance in the fulfillment that you get. When you can get that fulfillment from these other things, then it reduces pressure, I think, from performance. And actually, it makes you or allows you to enjoy your sport even more when you can kind of, go back and forth between things outside of your sport, which gives you joy. It could be as simple as, maybe playing with your dog or something else, and then come back to the sport, because then the absence honestly just reinvigorates that passion. These 5 commandments give us a roadmap to not just longevity in sport, but fulfillment in life. The stories and lessons from these athletes and what they've shared with us are powerful reminders that we are all capable of incredible things when we lean into patience, community, giving back, mental strength, and balance. I encourage you to find some of these things within yourself. Find how you can practice perhaps just one of these commandments, but with intention this week. And send me a note, DM me, message me, comment on any of the podcast channels on Instagram or YouTube, and let me know, or let the rest of us know, how embracing these commandments is going for you, and if that's helping you just achieve more fulfillment. Thanks for joining me today. And as you go forward, remember these commandments. Let them inspire you, fuel your passions, and guide you to a life without purpose, connection. Thanks for joining me today. And as you go forward, do remember these commandments. Let them inspire you, fuel your passions, and guide you to a life with purpose, filled with connection, and rebounding with resilience. Stay warm through these winter months in the Northern Hemisphere. Go out and do the things you love. That's it, folks. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Ageless Athlete podcast. I hope you enjoyed this show just as much as I enjoyed creating and producing it. Whether you are an athlete looking to push your limits or someone striving to maintain a healthy, active lifestyle as you age, there is always something new to learn. From Ageless Athlete, we bring you a fresh episode each and every week. If you liked what you heard, we would love it if you would take a moment to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an update. And if you really liked what you heard, please leave us a review, crush those 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. It helps us reach more people who are passionate about staying strong and resilient, no matter their age. Don't forget to visit our website and leave your email so I can send you occasional insights, stories, and tips to keep you inspired and motivated on your journey. You can also follow us on Instagram at Ageless Athlete Podcast and on YouTube at Ageless Athlete Podcast as well for even more great content. All of these links are available on the show notes for this episode. This show is entirely produced by me, Kush Khandelwal, based out of California with the help of my trusted adventure pup, Roger. Until next time, keep challenging yourself. Keep pushing those limits. Stay mentally and physically fit. Continue doing what you love to do. And my friends, stay ageless. Friends, this is not an ad. This is just a quick message to those amongst us who are listening to Ageless Athlete podcast for the first time. I would love it if you would hit subscribe and follow on your favorite podcast app, whether it's Apple Podcast or Spotify or Stitcher or Overcast or what have you. We bring you stories and routines and other inspiration from elites in the world of the best outdoor sports. In each episode, you will find how these athletes stay connected to the outdoors, maintain peak performance, and continue to thrive as they age. I encourage you to look through prior episodes and listen to a couple and see if they resonate. And then, come back next week. We release an episode each week. And I am really inspired to bring you some of the best stories from the world of the outdoors. Okay, back to the show.